Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Rob's Little Blue Book. And we are trying out a new mic tonight, so I hope it sounds okay. Seems to be going okay so far, but maybe let me know how it sounds in the chat. Anyway, I'm not going to do a cocktail this week. Mainly because I'm not feeling 100% and I just don't feel like a big boozy drink. And I couldn't think of anything, so it's kind of a win-win. But tonight we are going to do Waitlist fried chicken. And I know if you don't know the story, you're probably wondering, what the hell is Waitlist fried chicken? And it's an interesting story. So first of all, I love fried chicken. I have this book, Fried and True, which is an amazing book. Everybody should have it. It is the best fried chicken recipes from all over the United States. And I have made probably almost every recipe in this book. And to be honest, there isn't much to choose between some of the recipes. Some people do a single dredge, or their sauce is a little bit different, or whatever. But I came to the conclusion after reading the book and cooking almost all the recipes in the book that you can't really screw up fried chicken. Every recipe I made was great. They were a little bit different. Like some were crunchier than others, some had a dry rub, some were like really saucy, but they were all amazing. So if you're looking for something to cook that it's always going to work out, I don't think you can go wrong with fried chicken. And so it's having cooked 50 different fried chicken recipes. I'm always on the lookout for a new one or an interesting story. I mean, can you do something new with fried chicken? And it turns out, I think you can. So I heard the story about a Michelin star chef in New York, and his restaurant closed down for COVID. Actually, it just closed permanently. And his parents had a Chinese food restaurant that also closed. And he was looking for something to do during COVID, and he thought, well, I'll do like a ghost kitchen type thing. I'll fire up the kitchen, and we'll do like DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever the hell it is down in New York. And when he got to his parents' restaurant, the restaurant wasn't in the greatest shape, the kitchen wasn't in the greatest shape, and the only thing that really worked well was the deep fryers. So he decided to do fried chicken. And he created this recipe and made his version of fried chicken and started shipping it out over Uber Eats. And it somehow went viral. It was so good that he could never keep up with demand. He actually started an Instagram account where you could get on a wait list for this chicken. And the wait list got up to I don't know, it was like 10 weeks. People were waiting 10 weeks. There was like 9 or 10,000 people on this waiting list, and so you would get on the wait list. Like, can you imagine going into Uber Eats, your app, and seeing your delivery date, estimated delivery date was 10 weeks away? And he just cooked fried chicken nonstop. So I found the recipe. It wasn't hard to find. It's on Google, of course, with everybody else's life story. But so this is going to be new for me for stream. I'm actually going to follow a recipe. Well, it's not really a recipe. I have a list of ingredients, and I know how fried chicken goes together. But it's his recipe, and I'm going to stay true to the recipe because I want to see what all the fuss is about. So this is going to be kind of like a experiment with Rob night rather than a instructional thing. There's some interesting techniques with fried chicken that we're going to cover. We're going to be using a couple things I've never used before. Ingredients I didn't even know existed. Like we have vinegar powder. Apparently is a thing. I think this is literally dehydrated vinegar. Anyway, it's in the recipe. And also something I never thought I would use, and I also didn't know it existed, hickory smoke powder. I got both of these things on Amazon. I'm sure you could find them in a store. I just wasn't patient enough, so I just ordered them for delivery. So you will be able to get these things. Oh, really? That's hilarious. See, I've SEO'd my stream. I guess it's not a popular search term. I wonder what the first two were. Anyway, that's really funny, Rebecca. Especially since it just went live like 4 minutes ago. That's actually kind of scary. Anyway, this should be fun to try out. This whole recipe does things that I don't do. And I'll sort of comment. I'll give you my opinions. And this guy's a Michelin star chef. He knows his shit. So anyway, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it here. I haven't even figured out like what order. Oh, and the other nice thing about this recipe is, except for these two weird things, I had everything. I had all the ingredients. It was awesome. Like, calls for duck fat. I have my duck fat. There, see? So this was actually relatively easy for me to put together. Let me get rid of this book for a sec. Okay, so I'm actually not sure what order to do things in now. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to do it in the order that you would make it at home. Now, we are going to TV time this a bit. I did a marinade earlier because it has to, preferably should sit overnight, but it's been sitting most of the day. It's the best I can do. So we'll review how to take apart a chicken. We'll do the marinade. We'll get it in the fridge. Then there's a duck fat spice mix, which is, I think, kind of his riff on Nashville hot chicken. I don't know if you guys, Nashville hot chicken is, no, Hattie B's hot chicken. Is that Nashville? It's not Nashville hot chicken. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, it's a spice mix in lard, and I guess this is his riff on it. He uses duck fat and some Asian spices, Szechuan peppercorns and stuff. Anyway, this is gonna be fun. Let's get the chicken going, and we're just gonna do. My little window got pretty big there. I want you guys to be able to see this. Anyway, whatever. Got our chicken. Chickens were on sale today, so I was happy about that. And this is just, we're just going to knock this apart, or take this apart into our normal 10-piece cut. So if you don't remember how that goes, you start with the legs and just cut around the leg bone here. Separate that out. Come on, let go. Doesn't want to let go. There we go. And then to separate the leg and the thigh, flip it up, find the little white patch there, just take the knife through it. And that's your first two pieces. Do the same on the other side. You can do this flat on the board. I've kind of gotten the habit of like hauling it up by the legs. I find it actually goes pretty easily. But if you want to just leave it on the board, you can probably do that too. And just, again, right through the little white dot, it'll just separate into two pieces. You're going to take your wings off next. That's really easy. They just like carve out. Tips off. Good dog treat if you don't have a dog. Just chuck it. Get the other wing off here. Come on. Wings don't want to let go tonight. All right. And then we want to take the breasts off and cut them in two. Also really easy. Just find your breastbone here. By the way, you don't need a boning knife for this. You can take apart a chicken with pretty much any knife you want. Taking the breast off is really easy. Just follow the breastbone down. Doesn't matter. You can do it from either side. I kind of just do one from one side, one from the other. And if the breasts are huge, you can split them into three. I'm just going to whack these guys in two because I was going to say I like big breasts, but you know, anyway. And then just take the last wing off there. And again, don't rush, but you should also, you know, we talked about this before, get in the habit of buying whole chickens, guys. It's, first of all, it's way cheaper. And that means something these days. You know, like, things are getting expensive. These were on sale, which was nice, but if, you know, I did this experiment once with Loblaws where I went and I recorded the prices of all of the different packaged bits, like how much the breasts were per pound or per kilo or whatever. And I created a little, oh, so geeky, did a little Excel spreadsheet, and then I bought a whole chicken and took it apart. And the savings were quite astronomical. So I highly recommend, like even at Farm Boy today. So I paid $8 or $9 for this chicken, and 2 boneless chicken breasts in the case were $16. So this whole chicken was half the price of just the breasts in the case. Now granted they were on sale, but like still. Anyway, whatever. That's my chicken rant. So there's our chicken. But any questions on how to take apart a chicken? That seemed pretty straightforward, right? Well, I see. Yeah, that's weird. Somebody look at their screen. Are you guys seeing banding crawling up the screen? I wonder if that's my fluorescent light. Sorry, technical issues again. Just kill that entirely. Well, that's not any better, is it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was the fluorescent light. You learn something new every day, but now I don't have enough light. Can you guys see that okay? It's still bright enough, right? Okay, I'm gonna go with yes. Let's get the rest of the show on the road. And I need my big bowl. Where's my big bowl? It's dim, but you can see. Well, look, let me put it back on. Like, I can see it. What if I just, no, see, there, it's really pronounced now. How's that? I can live with that. What am I making on the side? Like a side dish? I'm not making anything on the side. I just have time to do the chicken. Anyway, we are going to do like a green garlic ranch dressing sauce with it as well, which is also part of the original recipe. So, but let's get our marinade going here. So the marinade is 1 cup of buttermilk. Roughly. Oh. Yeah, Spencer, I was getting some banding from the, I think it's an LED light. It shouldn't band, but I noticed it before. I turned it down a bit. When you turn it up, it's quite dramatic. I will figure that out another day. In the meantime, we seem to be okay. Okay, so, here's the other thing too, which I also don't do, I thought was cool. This is what he calls his seasoning mix, and it's used throughout this recipe and the other, the green garlic thing. This is 3 parts salt, 1 part MSG, and 1 part sugar. I don't use a lot of sugar when I'm cooking, but this guy seems to know what he's doing. I mean, as I said, you don't get to be a Michelin star chef without knowing something. So we're going to just go with his thing and see where we get to. Anyway, it's a tablespoon of the seasoning mix and a tablespoon. And he also uses a lot of spice. Like, where's my 5 eyes? Like, this is, he calls for a tablespoon of 5-spice powder, which is a lot of 5-spice powder. And a tablespoon, so I got my good onion powder and garlic powder from my favorite spice store. And again, it's like a tablespoon of each, which kind of breaks my heart a little bit because these aren't the cheapest spices. But anyway, it's all for a good cause, right? Tablespoon of onion powder, ish, and again, all-purpose flour. Yes, garlic powder is awesome, and it's, sorry Gabby, I said Gabby last time. I can see now that I actually read the chat. It's Gabby. You'll see there's a ton of the garlic powder in the garlic ranch dressing thing we're gonna do. All right, so we've got like 2 tablespoons of flour. And we're just gonna whisk this up into like a goop. All right, that's the marinade, and then you just coat your chicken with it. Any questions on the marinade? This seems really straightforward. As I said, I'm sort of commenting as we go. That seems like a crazy amount of dried spices to me. So I'll be interested to see how this tastes. Anyway, there you go. So you want this to sit, I mean, there you go. It's a win all around. This needs to, ideally overnight, okay? It seems like a long time for a marinade, but following the rules here. And that goes in the fridge. And we'll TV time it because I got the other one ready to go. Where is it? Here we are. So I did this earlier today, and we're going to come back to this because we got some work to do before we can fry this up. But that's what it looks like after a couple hours. Okay, so that can go in the sink. Let's get, and we're going to do everybody's favorite thing. It doesn't bother you guys, but we got to fry up some more chilies. I know Serena loves that, so. So now we're going to make the, because I'll probably make the green garlic sauce while we're frying the chicken. I can probably get that done while so we're not waiting around all night for that. In the meantime, let's do the duck fat spice mix. So we're going to like blitz it up in the, whatever, the little mini chopper thing. Let's get a fire going. You don't need a crazy. So we're gonna toast. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna. Oh yeah, right, Serena. So actually, while the pan's warming up, I can tell you a funny story. So the last two streams, I've been frying chilies in this pan, and the day after the last stream, I made Serena an omelet. Actually, it was just a fried egg, really. And again, I gave it to her in the office, and she was like working and eating and whatever. And then I hear this like noise. She's like, "Why is the egg so spicy?" And it came like it was a delayed spice. I went in and tasted it, and I was like, "Oh, it's not too bad." And then like 30 seconds later, it really hit. And I guess because either the cast iron pan absorbed a bit of the spice or it didn't get like 100% cleaned, I made the world's spiciest omelet the next morning. Okay, so we're gonna do, what is it? A third of a cup of Szechuan peppercorns, which also just seems like a lot. I already admire this guy for the amount of spice he uses, just in general. Now we'll see how much of this actually coats on the chicken, because like all restaurant chefs, when they write out the recipe, you know, we're doing enough for one chicken, but often the other preparations are like for an entire evening service. So we'll see. So when you're toasting, well, really any kind of spice or pepper, especially Szechuan peppercorns, you just want to, maybe I hope you guys can see on camera, we've done this before, they will just release smoke after a couple of minutes, and then you know they're done. Yes, that is a good moral. Okay. There, and there's smoke already. So that seemed like it was a little soon. Oh, no, they're done. Okay. These are ready. And these just go straight into the mini chop and part of them on the counter. Very smart. Turn this down just a bit. And now if the peppers go in. So guys, these are just generic red chilies. You get these in Asian grocery stores, well, or any, I mean, they'll have these in the international section of your supermarket. Don't use like arbol chilies, like the Mexican ones. They're way too hot. These, they're not super spicy, so we should be okay. And we're gonna toast these up too. Gonna be careful not to lean. Oh, it's starting already. Gonna back up just a bit. Fortunately, we don't have to toast these too much. We just want a little bit of color. So you can tell, you can usually tell when they're done. They'll start to develop a little color, they'll get a little bit shiny, and your partner will run screaming into the hallway. Is usually the indication that things are ready to go. These are almost ready. You can see, I hope you guys can see the color. See, yeah, you can see they're getting a little bit darker. I'm not going to push my luck with this because I do have to stay in the kitchen for the rest of the night. Almost done. The other thing I was wondering, and I don't know if it would work, is I wonder if you could use gochugaru instead of this whole step, which is the Korean red chili pepper. It comes already ground, and I have a feeling it's very similar to this. Almost there, pushing my luck a little bit, but I do want some flavor, I want some good color on these. But you don't want them to go black, so I'm gonna call it in just a sec here. I kind of feel like that's about right. Yeah, okay, we're good. This is not too hot to pick up. And try and get most of them into the mini chop. Kind of succeeded a little bit. Don't need this pan anymore. Got one in the sugar. Alright, the other thing I want to try out actually is this mic actually has a mute thing, so I'm gonna mute everybody. All right, am I back? I'm back. Okay, sorry. You really want to get this down to a powder. So I let it go. I wanted to run it pretty for a little while. So there you go. That's starting our spice mix. And we want some kind of bowl to put it in eventually. Maybe this guy. Actually, don't eat this. Okay, so what else? Oh, you know what? I gotta blend more stuff in there. Shit. It's a problem. Not a problem, but it's the interesting thing when you're doing something you haven't done a bazillion times. So, according to this, we also want to put in a teaspoon of our hickory smoke powder. My pleasure, Guppy. Ooh, that is strong. Wow. This smells like, it smells like hickory smoke. It's really something. Okay. Oh, you know what it smells like? Gabby, that's a good question. What makes it better is a couple of things. First of all, toasting them makes a big difference. And the fact that they're, Serena, I don't think it's going to be that hot. But the fact you toast them and they're fresh. So the chili powder you get in the store, who knows how long it's been there. If you have a good spice store that you go to that has a high turnover in spices, you're probably going to be okay. But I actually don't even know if you could buy this kind of chili powder. This isn't cayenne powder. You know, obviously it's not cayenne pepper. It's just ground chili pepper. As I said before, you could probably experiment with gochugaru, which is the Korean already ground pepper, would probably be about the right flavor, but we'll see. And Serena, I have no idea how hot this is going to be, but I don't have to sauce all the chicken, so don't worry. Okay, a teaspoon of the seasoning mix goes in. Remember, this is 3 parts salt, 1 part sugar, 1 part MSG. And what else do I want in here? A seasoning blend. Oh, and a little bit of extra sugar. All right, fine. And a teaspoon of sugar straight up. Okay. Okay, I'm back. This goes in the bowl. Perfect. Yeah, I should have to wash that because I gotta make something else that later. Go away for now. And then we have rice vinegar powder, salt, and more sugar. Do I have that right? Yeah, he's got sugar on here twice. And a teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'm just gonna roll with this. It's a tablespoon of rice vinegar powder. It does feel weird to be actually looking at a recipe for this. Or just on stream in general. They're not cooperating. Oh, there we go. Ooh. I wish you guys were here, or I had some sort of like smell communicator thing. That is strong too. It's got quite a... Oh, by the way, this smells exactly like Black Diamond almonds. I don't know if you ever ate those when you were a kid. I used to be addicted to them, little packages of almonds. This is what it reminds me of. Blast from the past. It says another teaspoon of sugar. Why it wasn't all at once, I have no idea. And a teaspoon of salt. Okay. We're gonna give this a stir. I mean, it smells amazing. I don't know. And then we are gonna, no, we're not gonna heat duck fat. Well, we're gonna heat it, but basically our goal with the duck fat is just to get it liquid enough to pour, to blend. We don't wanna bring it up to like a frying temperature or anything like that. And you want about a cup and a bit, I guess. Sink. Yes, I love my duck fat. I use it for a lot of different things. Oh, and now I can hear Serena coughing in the other room. Actually, you guys might be able to as well. Okay. And again, you guys can see, oh, you can't really see it. Awkward having a picture-in-picture where it is. Anyway, you get the idea. There we go, yeah, I can see it. So I left the seeds in the chilies. I hope that doesn't make it too spicy. But it's really a pain de-seeding a whole bunch of chili sauce, and it should be unnecessary for these guys. Okay, I feel like that is enough, and we are going to just add this to our spice mix here. I mean, it smells really good. I don't want to taste it. I'm gonna leave it. Normally, you know, as you're cooking, you should taste as you go. So normally I would taste this, but I kind of want it to be a surprise. I want to do the whole chicken experience at the end. So when you're cooking on your own, taste as you go, guys. Is kind of important. But in the meantime, we're just gonna leave that as it is. Let that cool down while we get on with the next thing we need to do. Which is what exactly? Which is what? I guess we're gonna make the garlic sauce next. Okay, so give me a sec. I have to wash the chopper. Let me see how much is in this thing. Okay, I can do it in the mini chop. Give me one sec, guys. Just go wash something. All right, and now we're doing mini chopper round 2. Get over here. Okay, and for this part we need, so it's a green sauce, and you can use kind of whatever greens you want. So there's 2 parts to this recipe. Where'd my cutting board go? No, it's in the same. This one. There's kind of 2 parts to this. There's the green oil, which we're going to make up, which becomes an ingredient. Now we're going to make that in here with, excuse me, 2/3 of a cup of oil and some greens. Now I'm going to put some garlic into, but I'm going to use like a handful of parsley, basically kind of pack some in there. Oh, sorry, that's cilantro. This is parsley. We're going to put some of that in here. So, interesting thing I've learned, and I've never seen this mentioned anywhere else. Normally, when you're cooking, garnishing, whatever, you should use flat leaf parsley. It just tastes a little better, and it makes a nicer garnish. But for whatever reason, curly parsley, when you blitz it with oil, has a much nicer consistency. There's something about curly parsley, which we're going to pulse, that emulsifies the oil somehow. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. We want 2/3 of a cup. I'm using peanut oil here, but you could use whatever neutral oil you have on hand. I don't use olive oil, of course, but like any canola oil would be fine. Even vegetable oil would be fine here. All right. Again, we are gonna like. Okay, I'm back. Let's get this out into a bowl or something. Do a little cleanup here. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Got a nice color on here. Oh yeah, look at the color of this. Doesn't that look amazing? Well, you'll be able to see in a sec. There you go. So this is our green oil. Now we're not going to use all of this. This is a good thing to have around. You can use this to make dressings. I mean, whatever you want. All right. Ours seem to be a little bit messy tonight. Let's get a wipe. Let's hold that up so you guys can look at the color there. Anyway, I think it's a wonderful color, so. Okay, it wouldn't have been my first thought, Gabby, but I guess if Kermit was sick, why not? Okay. Now let's finish making this up. So now the rest of this, again, back to the ingredient, half a cup of buttermilk. And 2 tablespoons of mayo. 1, 2. Oh, here's my other find. Another new. This will be our cool thing for this week. This is Farm Boy sour cream, which is a great brand. They've now released a 18% milk fat version of this, which is just awesome. And it's 2 tablespoons of this. It's 1.5, 2. Tastes so good. And then again, a tablespoon of, did I throw my measures in the sink? Under the really hot pan? No. That's interesting. Okay, doing it old school. I'm going to use an actual tablespoon. And again, it's a tablespoon of onion powder. Seems like a lot. Tablespoon of garlic. Yeah, 14%. I thought so. I used to buy the highest milk fat I've seen that you can buy is the Western Creamery 14%, which I love. But when I saw 18, I was like, that's got to be it. A pinch of MSG. I feel like we're getting through this pretty good. 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. Okay, why not? And 2 tablespoons of the green oil. So I'm going to mix this up first. I'm actually going to get a whisk. Or not. There we go. And I'm just going to add this like as much as I think should go in. I want like a couple of seriously good dollops. Let's see how that looks. There we go. I'm going to go like just a little bit more. As I said, that's a great base for just about anything you want to make. Also be a fantastic on... do I think Greek yogurt could sub in? Probably, Rebecca. I mean, you can't be too worried about it being sour. I just put a tablespoon of rice vinegar in here, so I'm sure Greek yogurt will be fine. It is only 2 tablespoons, and it's a pretty big serving. And again, normally I would taste this. I'm gonna wait until we get the fried chicken going. But there we go. And I don't have a bowl for dredging. I guess we'll use this guy. Any questions? No, we're not going that fast. It's 40 minutes in. Okay. Let's get this dredged and fried up. So for our dredge, there's basically 2 things you can use for a dredge to crisp this up. You can use starches or you can use flour or a combination of the 2. I have done fried chicken. So when I do my chicken wings, I just toss them in cornstarch only. Makes them nice and crisp. People will do half and half. It's always some variation of flour to starch. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna use his. Sorry, I'm gonna use the recipe, which is probably all of this flour. He says 2 cups of flour, and then a 1/4 cup each of potato starch and cornstarch. Close enough. And I've got potato starch here. You can get this in probably any grocery store these days. I got this at an Asian store, but if you don't have potato starch, I mean, I wouldn't stress. Cornstarch will work just fine. I'm just following the recipe more or less exactly, because one of the things that actually kind of drives me crazy, my mom used to do this. She would ask for my recipe for something, and I would give it to her, and then I talked to her a couple of days later, and she's like, "Oh, I made your thing. It didn't work out very well." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, what happened? Because I really like that dish." And she's like, "Oh, well, you know, I substituted this for that and this for that, and I cut the cooking time in half, and I increased the oven temperature by 50 degrees, and I left out these 2 things, but I added this in." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not the dish, Mom. Like, that's not it." So I do believe in if you're gonna work with a recipe from somebody you trust. Now, I see recipes all the time online where I use them for inspiration and I do my own thing. But if you're going to make a recipe that has a reason for existing, like, I want to know why this chicken went viral. I want to know what makes it taste so good. So I'm going to make it the way. Oh, it's Eric Huang, by the way, is the chef. Oh, I'm going to make it the way he made it, because why not? And then we have our chicken that's been sitting out, well, not sitting out, it's chicken that's been marinating, and we are going to get this show on the road. So I'm going to do, what do we got in here? That is a thigh. So, and you want these chunky. You want big, see how it's like all clumpy like that? You want that. You want the clump. This is not a light dredging, because that's what gives you your crisp. And I know I said that it's impossible to make bad fried chicken, but that doesn't account for KFC. So it is possible to make bad fried chicken, but you gotta work really hard at it. It takes a big corporation to completely suck the soul out of an amazing food. This is why my black t-shirts don't last very long, because I'm always breading stuff. Okay. And I'm gonna do, I think, what is that? That's a thigh. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 breast pieces and 2 thigh pieces, so we have like dark meat and light meat, white meat representation. I'm gonna fry these pieces up and I'll do the rest later. Where's our coating? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bread them all right now while I got it out. It's not a bad idea to let your breading hydrate for a little bit. I do this when I do my the popcorn chicken at Spencer. I will make you fried chicken, and you will forget all about the popcorn chicken at KFC. I will say in KFC, well, you can't really defend KFC, but I will say in KFC's defense, it is an amazing hangover food. Because it's so greasy, and you already hate yourself, so KFC's not going to make it worse. Okay, What do we got left here? Well, 10 pieces, Rob. There we go. And there is yes. So I agree, Spencer. In this house, Taco Bell is comfort food, but it doesn't mean that it's probably not really good hangover food as well. Everybody has their food thing, right? Food that they attach to for different reasons, and that's what makes food great. All right, seriously. So there is a technique, by the way, guys, which I don't know. For like wet hand, dry hand, when you're breading things, you're supposed to keep like one hand the dry hand and one hand the wet hand, so you don't get like Michelin. Speaking of Michelin, luckily Michelin man fingers. So let me wash that off. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm going to drop 4 pieces into the fryer, and we'll see how long it takes to cook. Any questions, guys? I feel like this is pretty straightforward. This is interesting for me to actually follow a recipe, work from a recipe. I mean, I've got the Little Blue Book, of course, and those are recipes. I mean, they're kind of in my code, and nobody else understands them, but I know what they mean. But this is fun. This is fun. I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time too. Okay, so I'm gonna put 4 pieces down, and then we'll see where we're at. And honestly, I suspect that fried chicken will be amazing even without the hot sauce on it. I mean, we're definitely gonna do it up, but I really suspect that just looking at that coating, I think just looks great. I want there we are. Brush for dabbing. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes. So let's talk about maybe next week. Does anybody have any ideas, things they want to see? Because I was going to do the green sauce while the chicken was frying, which I probably should have done. I was in kind of a linear mood today, so yeah, I think Rebecca might have it there. Ooh, nachos are good too. Oh, nachos for next week. Okay. Do you guys want me to do? So we haven't done nachos. I've been going to. Okay, so it's nachos done. I've been going to Sneaky D since the beginning of time, and Serena and I used to go there quite a bit as well. But the King's Crown nachos was the thing that we did. Okay. But let's finish talking about nachos. I really like it, so I think we'll do nachos. Gabby, I can do butter chicken. The problem with butter chicken is I don't have a tandoor. And butter chicken is basically a dish made with leftover tandoori chicken, and it's really hard to make a tandoor effect with a home oven. And I kind of floated the idea to Serena of digging a big pit in the front and making a tandoor, but it didn't fly. So I think we'll do nachos next week. Gabby, let me look into butter chicken, because it's everybody's favorite, and I have made it at home, so let me see if I can figure that out. Can I do the runny cheese sauce? Yes, I can. Oh. Okay, so nachos next week. What do you guys like on your nachos? I mean, I can do my version, but we can also talk about like versions you like too. Oh, it smells potent, man. Don't tell me, Gubby. You at Serena with that, and we're good. I mean, not only the tandoor. When we were doing the tacos al pastor. So the tacos al pastor is also made up like you would do shawarma, the big stack of meat on a spit on a vertical grill. I thought we needed one of those as well. Checking out our chicken here. Oh, looks incredible. Definitely needs to cook a little bit longer though. Mushrooms and guac. Okay. Well. Okay. We're gonna do Little Blue Book nachos, and so people can just throw out whatever they feel. I really like sauteed peppers and onions on mine. Spicy. It smells amazing in here. I really wish there was a way to communicate that to you guys. Okay. Any other requests we covered next week? Are there any things you guys want to see down the road? We've got nachos. We're going to look into buttered chicken because Serena's going to remember all this. There's an infinite number of Italian dishes we haven't covered, which we can still do. So we're not ever going to run out of things to do, but I'm also happy to take, requests now and then. Okay. We still have 6 minutes, guys, so fire out a question or two. Whatever you guys want to know. I mean, assuming I know the answer. Maybe we should have done a cocktail. See, I could be doing a cocktail right now. So I don't feel like drinking one. We'll have food soon enough. Didn't we? Well, I love Southern barbecue. Basic stir-fry sauce is a good one. Gubby, I am not. Somebody tell me what that is. I mean, we could do Southern barbecue. The problem with barbecue is it takes hours and hours and hours to do. We could definitely TV time it. I love doing pulled pork and briskets. Like I can show you guys how to trim a, like I can get a whole brisket and we can trim it. I can show you how to do the dry rub and everything else, prepare it, and then just have one for a taste. I guess we could do. I mean, barbecue is no different than TV timing any of this other stuff we're doing. Okay. I mean, barbecue is my passion, for sure, especially Southern barbecue. I love it all. So we could do that. Yeah, low and slow for me for Southern barbecue. I don't know that I would try it in an Instant Pot. Oh, it might work. Like a whole brisket takes 20 hours. Also wouldn't fit in an Instant Pot, I don't think. It's like 15 pounds. For a whole pork shoulder, same thing. This is thickening up nicely. 4 minutes, guys, and I'm all probably the chicken. Oh, why didn't you be done sooner? So one of the things you can do if you're making this for a large group of people is you can par fry the chicken, so you can basically cook it till it's done. But there's no harm in then taking it out, letting it sit, for 30 minutes, and you can just pop it back in the deep fryer. It will get even crispier, which is kind of nice, which is the technique they use for karaage chicken. Brazilian barbecue fried chicken dumpling thing. Okay, that just sounds amazing. I'm totally sold on that description alone. So can you write that down? Or screenshot that? I'm definitely doing that. Whatever that is, I'm making that this week. So I will do my research on that. And yeah, there we go. It's done. Do you guys have any storms where you are? I was actually worried we were going to lose power because they called for massive thunderstorms tonight, but we haven't got them yet. Alright. I think these are done. I'm going to poke a thermometer into one. Not done. I was wrong. They look nice and dark on the outside, but the inside of the breast was only 130 degrees. So it needs to, it's going to take the full 10 minutes. In fact, maybe even a bit longer. I am excited to try this. Any other questions on anything we've done tonight? I feel like we're kind of counting down the clock a bit, but it's alright. And then the timer, we've only got a minute on the timer, but I can tell you right away that it's not going to be ready yet, so we're going to have to let it go just a little bit longer. Quick question though, how loud is the fryer in the mic? Like, is it just drowning me out, or is it a cool ASMR background noise, or somewhere in between? I'm very hungry. Like you can see I'm watching my, okay, that's good. I mean, kitchens are loud. As long as you guys can hear me, that's fine. A little loud on the fryer. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do about that. I almost put the fryer up here so you guys could see it, but that would have been way too loud. I mean, I could turn the gain down on the mic, but then of course I just get quieter, don't I? How's that? There's our timer, but it's not going to be ready yet, so give me 1 sec, guys. I'm going to grab a beer anyway. We need like another, I think another minute at least. Let's test one of these guys. See what's that. At least I get something to show you guys. Oh, Gubby, I tried that 3 weeks ago. I have a really good lav mic, and I hated it. It didn't sound good, and it was corded, so I was always twirling up in the cord. I felt like I couldn't turn around. I really wanted the lav mic to work well. This is done. Okay. It just didn't. I lasted like one stream with it, and I was like, never again. So if you know anybody who wants a really good lav mic, I got one for sale. No, I'm just kidding. I'll keep it for something else. Okay. So you guys can see. Yeah, I had high hopes for it, Gubby. I thought it was going to be like the solution to all my problems. It wasn't. Okay, you know what? I'm going to move me over there. Now you guys can see. Okay, so I've got good color here. And then we just, I'm going to use my brush here. I'm not going to brush all of these because I'm concerned that it's going to be too hot for Serena. So I'm going to brush up 2 of these. Middle 2, I guess. So right away, the first thing I noticed is the seeds from the chilies. I don't remember seeing those in any pictures I looked at. So I wonder if he seeded the chilies. Which will, of course, change the nature of this sauce entirely. Although you know what I could do? Alright, this is way too hot to eat. So since this has to sit for a second anyway, we do a little experiment here. I am out of bowls and containers. Oh, here we go. Let's pop this through a sieve and just take the seeds out. Although this now seems, it's not working. It's too, well, maybe. There's too many solids in this for this to work. It's not going to take the seeds out. It's taking everything out. Nope, didn't work. I'm going to leave it as one thing. Oh well. We'll just see how hot it is. Okay. The thing is, I know this is too hot to eat. But I'm going to try it anyway. Ooh, shit. It's really hot. Okay. We're actually going to wait maybe like 1 second here. Yeah, if it's too hot to pick up, too hot to eat. Even for me. Okay, you know what? In the meantime, I'm going to take, because I know in my heart that this is going to be too spicy for Serena. So I'm going to take her 2 pieces right now because she's probably really hungry. 1 sec, guys. Okay, I'm back. Should we do this? Should we just go? I feel like we should. Okay. It's really hot. Okay, it's time. It's time to go. We're just gonna go. Wow. Okay, way too hot for Serena. It's not like Nashville chicken hot. It tastes amazing. God, I'm trying to. So this is unlike any fried chicken I've had before. You can definitely, like Szechuan peppercorns aren't super spicy, but they kind of have this effect of like making your tongue go numb and your lips. I can feel that already. The flavor is incredible. It's Mmm. Yeah, the crust is fantastic. It's definitely. I'm gonna try it with the green sauce right now, Rebecca. It is definitely. I don't even know how to describe it. It's very, very heavily seasoned. It's actually. Oh yeah, I'll take some to her in a sec. Let's see. Okay. Should I just dip? I'm just gonna dip because. Mmm. It's better. Okay. This is outrageously good. Um, wow. I think if really spicy chicken isn't your thing, you could easily take your duck fat spice mix and just cut back on the dried chilies and maybe take the seeds out, and it would still taste amazing. I'm kind of running out of it's just fantastic. It really is a taste sensation. Um, and not only that, it has. Ooh, let me show you guys the chicken again. Oops, there we are. I'm back. It has a flavor characteristic, like certain foods just seem to have like a inherent thing about them that makes them the thing they are, and you can tell right away. This is a really well constructed recipe dish. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It's very spicy, but it's just and the green sauce is green sauce like cuts the heat a bit. And remember, wow. Okay, I'm kind of geeking out here. This is really good. Oh, but okay. Actually, now I feel bad Shereen doesn't have green sauce, so I'm going to take her a little bit of green sauce, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little more about this chicken because it's something else. All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Yeah, I highly recommend everybody make this. It's not that complicated, and the recipe is all over the internet. I guess, I was a little skeptical of the amount of seasoning that went in each step of the way, because this recipe calls for like tablespoons of spices that where I would normally use a teaspoon. But it works. It really, it's something else. Probably said that a couple times already, right? Any questions on this before I have another bite? You probably won't be able to stop me, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to dip it. I'm going to keep dipping. So this is kind of like this green garlic sauce. It's kind of a shout out to the original buffalo wings, which were served with blue cheese dressing. And most people, when they get buffalo wings in a restaurant, when they get their veggies in the blue cheese dip, when they dip the veggies in the blue cheese, nothing wrong with that, but the blue cheese is there for the chicken. Wow. It's nice and crunchy too. Okay guys, well, that's kind of what I had in mind for tonight. Yeah, and Serena has the plain. I had a feeling like just the regular coating with the marinade is going to be really, really flavorful. So you could even just skip the sauce. I don't know. I think it's amazing as a cohesive dish. I love the way everything comes together. I like it with the duck fat spice on it and dipped in the green garlic thing. It's funny. I almost didn't make the green garlic because I thought, well, it's kind of an afterthought or whatever. But no, it totally pairs with the dish in a great way. So that's it. Covered what I want to cover. This is one of those things that, I'll make it a couple more times before it goes a little blue book. But this is definitely in the running. This is definitely a candidate. So we have our plan for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to research Gubby's dish because that sounded amazing. And I'm going to just finish my chicken. So I'm going to hang around for like a minute or two in case a question comes up. But I'm basically in beer drinking, chicken eating mode now. So I'll see you guys next week. Just have like a minute. Great. Oh, can you guys hear the crust? Okay, guys. That's all I got for tonight. I'll see everybody next week. Love doing this for you guys. Thank you for joining me and doing this. And I really hope I can cook for every one of you at some point in the future. So have a good night, guys.